Hi, Minute Vener. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Singer Dad Reacts. My name is Josh. So great to be back with you. Sorry I've been neglecting my channel. It's been a lot going on in my personal life, and it's been hard to come back. And so I apologize to all of you that have hung on and been patient. I do want to get back on it, and one of the artists I really want to get back on as far as reacting to her journey is Angelina Jordan. She's one of my favorites, and I've been reacting to her from the beginning. When she was like 6 years old was one of my first reactions to her, all the way through. And now we're on 11. So the last one I did, she was theoretically 12. So a lot of you pointed that out, and I appreciate you keeping me on track. So I'm going back to one where she is 11 that several of you have recommended, called Cry Me a River. And I'm excited to do that. For those of you that are new to my channel, one of the things that I do is I go through the lyrics and discuss what the songwriter, I feel like what they were intending to say and what story they're telling through the lyrics before I actually react to the performance. And it just helps me to better feel the song and understand it, and to see how it applies to me in my life, and learn from it. Because I feel like that's part of what's important with experiencing music, is to learn how it applies to you and how you can be uplifted, inspired, entertained from the song, the melody, the music itself, or also the lyrics. So if you're not interested in that part of my reaction, skip ahead. For those of you that are, I'm going to bring up the lyrics here, and we'll go through it together. So this is, as tends to be the case with a lot of the songs that Angelina does, this is a song originally written back in the 50s called Cry Me a River by Arthur Hamilton. And the lyrics are, now you say you are lonely, you cried all night through. Well, you can cry me a river, I cried a river over you. And now you say you are sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river, 'cause I cried a river over you. You nearly drove me out of my head, while you never shed a tear. Remember, I remember all that you said. You told me love was too plebeian, told me you were through with me, and now you say you love me. Well, just prove that you do. Why don't you cry me a river, 'cause I cried a river over you. You said you loved me, but you lied. And now you say you love me. Well, just prove that you do. Yeah, the chorus repeats. Come on and cry me a river, I cried a river over you. So this ties in with what I found when I did my research on the meaning, which says it's a classic jazz pop torch song about heartbreak and betrayal. The singer addresses an ex-lover who left them for someone else, but has now returned asking for forgiveness. The phrase cry me a river is used as a cold, dismissive retort, stating that because the singer already cried a river of tears when they were first abandoned, they have no sympathy left for the ex's current tears. So that was my take as well from just reading through the lyrics, was that the singer is saying, tough, you are seeking my forgiveness. I already grieved and cried a river over you. Now you need to cry a river over me and prove that you also love me and are sorry for what you did, right? So that's my take. So this is from a live concert. She does a lot of these, and she's such an amazing artist that there's virtually no difference really between what she sings live and what she sings in the studio. She's just that good. So with that, I will get to the reaction here. I've got it queued up. So for those of you new to my channel, or if you haven't already, if you could please subscribe and click on the bell notification there to get notified of any new reactions that are coming. I will be doing some more here shortly. I'm getting back on track. So again, appreciate your patience. Oops. I was going to try to maximize the screen here. So yeah, but again, thanks for your support. just kind of looking at the stage here. I mean, this is a prime Angelina stage based on what I've learned about her, right? I mean, you got a sax here, you got the trombone, different types of guitars. You got your drums over here on the left. So yeah, I'm excited to see what she does here at the young age of 11. So thank you for all of you that recommended this as one of your favorites. That helps me a lot to kind of know which ones to focus on. So let's jump right in here. Almost sounds like the James Bond theme a little bit. Wow. She's in her bare feet. She's just so soulful, you know? I mean, if you close your eyes and you just listen to her sing, you think it was like, you know, at least a 30-year-old or someone like that just has a lot of soul and experience singing jazz. You wouldn't think it's like this 11-year-old prodigy that just feels it to her soul and just has excellent instincts about, you know, singing this type of song and singing jazz, and is such a good musician. Jazz, I've mentioned this before. I mean, my experience with jazz, it's one of the hardest types of music to either sing or play, obviously to write. I was in a jazz choir, you know, a jazz group when I was in college. I think there were I want to say there were 12 of us. And my ex-wife, she was the director of the group, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got to scat, and but it's hard. It'll challenge you for sure. And she just makes it look easy. Let me always try to go back a little bit so I don't miss anything here. Well, you can cry me. I cried a river for you. She looks so at ease. Wow, this is low. For being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river, 'cause I cried a river over. You hear how much she just traversed her range right there in that whole phrase? And she just made these huge jumps. It wasn't like she was kind of going down and descending through her range. She was making some huge jumps. She went up to the upper part, and then she kind of went down a little bit, and then she dropped down toward the bottom of her range at the end of the phrase. So even at 11 years old, she's got phenomenal control of her vocal instrument. And one of the reasons I love her is she's never like So Young and like those others. She's never trying to just do runs or riffs or jumps just to show off or, you know, for no reason. It's because she's feeling the music, and that's a natural expression of what she's feeling and how she is interpreting the music that she's singing, right? That's the correct reason why you should do riffs and runs. Sorry for all of you that are Christina Aguilera fans, but I'm not a huge fan of hers because I feel like she does just run after run after run, and it's just, it's overkill. And I don't get the sense that she's she's feeling it and doing the runs for the right reasons, right? And there might be some of the runs where she is doing it for the right reasons, but she just does it for every single phrase, and so it kind of takes that the specialness of it and the meaning and the impact of that run out of it. So Angelina uses great judgment and just feels it, and she's completely at ease. I mean, look at her. Speaking from someone who's been on stage a lot throughout my life, which is much longer than hers, obviously. Excuse me. To this day, I mean, it's a little daunting to get up there and sing and stuff like that. And so for her to be this completely at ease, just singing and feeling it, and it's just more of a testament of how much of a prodigy and just a natural she is. See how she's just... Hear that resonance? She just has such good instincts about stuff, even where she needed to breathe right in the middle of that phrase. If you weren't listening closely, you wouldn't really pick up on it, because she just times it in the exact right spot to just allow the phrase to continue and flow through without without really impacting the phrase and what she's doing and the feeling of it. I love that what she did there right before that was really neat. I'm going to rewind it here a little bit, and I'll point it out to you. Sad. She kind of does a little thing right there where she changes it up, so it's not like your normal kind of run coming down. She kind of comes down and then up, and that's a lot of the stuff you hear in jazz is stuff like that, where it's atypical for melodically for what you normally hear. So again, she's just throwing that in, no big deal, you know. That's cool. Trombone solo. You don't see many of those. It's awesome. Share. Did you hear that? Like, even like at this early age, and the first time I heard kind of that resonance come through like that with the vibrato and all that was at the tail end of her You Put a Spell on Me. The very end there, that phrase that she sings when she kind of sings it more full and with resonance and vibrato. And so she had it at an early age, but you can tell her voice has matured even more now. And she's really coming into her own here. I love also, like with all of her performances that I've seen, at least, even when she was 6, I think that if I remember right, definitely for I Put a Spell on You, the instrumentalists were great. She always has top notch instrumentalists backing her. They When they're doing their solos, they're a little bit louder and coming through, but when they're behind her when she's singing, then they back it off, and they're just the right volume to let her be heard and provide the instrumentalization behind the accompaniment. So, and that's not a super easy thing to do, especially with wind instruments, from what I've been told. So they're awesome. Let's see. And the audience is acknowledging his solo, which is great. At the end of her songs, she always does this. She has like this expression, and I don't know that I really understood it until I saw her just now. I think she's such a consummate perfectionist with herself that you can tell, like, she's almost going through in her mind, thinking back through the performance and trying to figure out, okay, how did I do? Was this a good performance? You know, what notes do I have for myself, for the band? You know, that's my guess for what she's thinking there. If you look at her expression, like, I'm going to rewind just a little bit and watch her expression as soon as it ends. You could see right there, like, she was kind of like, okay, you know what? She's almost moving on to the next thing, or she's moving on to thinking about how things went. There's something she's already kind of moving on to in her brain there, which I think with like a genius mind, with someone like her that's like really highly intelligent and has been from an early age and is always trying to like do better and create more and change things up and make it your own. That's just her way. That's the nature of someone and their brain that is like that. So it makes sense that that's what she would be doing. Now she remembers the audience is out there. Yeah. So amazing as usual. I mean, no surprise here with her, and she put on just another awesome performance. And you get spoiled with these artists, right? A lot of the artists that I react to on my channel, I kind of get spoiled with them because it's like they are elite. They are top artists. They are professionals. They they don't really have bad performances, right? So it's like, for me to critique them, there's not a lot I can critique because even at her age, like I said, I mean, she's still putting on an awesome performance. Um, but as I know, being a performer myself, you're your own worst critic. So I'm sure if you were to ask Angelina after this performance, "Hey, Angelina, how do you feel like that went?" She would have little tiny things. "Oh, I breathed in the wrong spot there," or I cut that run off and didn't carry it through as strong as I would have liked. There will be little things like that for someone at her level, for someone holding themselves at a super high bar like she is. And that's great. I mean, that's how you improve. Um, I always look at a performance afterward and I have those things, right, where I'm like, man, if I had done this, or if I had prepared with that, or taken the breath somewhere else, or done something different, right? And that's just how you evolve and improve as an artist and as a performer. There are always going to be things. Um, yeah. So as you might have noticed, I'm in the early stages that I'm growing my beard back. I did a little experiment starting at the first of this year where I shaved my beard off to kind of see if I liked it myself clean shaven versus with the beard. And after living with clean shaven for the last 8 months, I've decided that I like my face better with the beard. I never would have thought that I would be a beard guy, but um, I like my face better with the beard. So, and a lot of people have said that they like it. They like it better. So I'm growing it back, and I'm going to keep it for the foreseeable future. Um, but yeah, this is 2 or 3 days worth right here is all it is. So it's kind of the John Bon Jovi look right now, kind of the gruff uh, grizzle, right? Um, but anyway, yeah. So Angelina is awesome. If you have other performances that you would suggest for me, I don't want to dwell too long in this time period of her journey. But if there's one where she's 11 where you're like, oh man, you can't skip this over, it's just amazing. You can't move on to 12 and continue on your journey without stopping to do this one. If there are any of those like that, let me know. Put them in the comments. And what I kind of look at, just so you know, is if someone comments, and that's what happened with this one, someone commented on the Crimey River and then 12 others liked it. And so that tells me, oh yeah, a lot of people agree with this person about this particular song. And then another person mentioned this same performance. And so that was enough for me to say, okay, yeah, this is one that I definitely need to look at. So that's the pattern. Those are the types of things that I look for. I do read all the comments and I do respond occasionally to comments, and I appreciate your feedback, and um, any information you can provide about Angelina obviously is great. I love to learn more about the artists I react to. Um, and I'm trying to get to the point where I can react to some of her newer stuff. I really want to. I know you guys are wanting me to, and some of you are like, just jump to, her recent performances. Um, but I'm trying to stay on track with the way that I do things with the journey. Um, but yeah, if you guys are like, move on to 12, we're ready, just keep going. Great. I'll take that feedback and do it. So let me know what you want. Um, I'll cut this short. Thanks again, like I said, for your patience with me and my channel. I haven't been paying as much attention as I should be to it, um, and I do enjoy interacting with all of you and learning about your cultures around the world and your love of music that we share. Um, thank you to all my new subscribers, and I will end my reaction as I do with all of them by reaching out to you to let you know that you need to know that you are loved, you are special, and you can accomplish your dreams. And I say that to all of you at the end of my reactions because I mean it, but also because I need to hear it for myself sometimes, and that's kind of where I'm at in my life, um, where I need to believe that for myself, um, and move forward in life and be happy, and know that God has a plan for me to be happy in my life. Um, and I know that part of that happiness can come as I serve others and as I strive to lift others, and that's part of what I strive for with this channel. So hopefully, um, you are lifted and you can enjoy my reactions and the music that we experience together. And again, thank you and take care.